Now, KOB Eyewitness News 4 at 6.
Dangerous flooding hits New Mexico.
We had about a 3-foot surge of water,
forcing helicopters to fly in to rescue the stranded.
And for many, it was more work than fun at the fairgrounds, a soggy second day.
We are on the storm watch tonight as heavy rain falls all over the state.
From right here in the metro area, where it was storming in the heights this morning, to an emergency situation in Artesia.
That's where flooding stranded nearly 60 people in an RV park.
We have team coverage on the storm from all over the state. Let's start with lead forecaster Eddie Garcia.
He's in the Pinpoint 4 Storm Center. So, Eddie, where are the biggest areas of concern right now?
Still very concerned about eastern New Mexico right now. I want to show you on Pinpoint 4 live Doppler radar and satellite imagery to show you that there is still active rain in the southeastern part of the state, and this is where they're having to do those water rescues. Rivers and creeks are flooding, and it's continuing there. But this pattern, this monsoonal surge, is starting to shift towards central New Mexico and the west. Right now, we have a flood warning still in effect for the southeastern part of the state till at least 8 o'clock. Pinpoint 4 Doppler radar is showing that in the metro, things have calmed down for the moment. We still have rain chances here, but really, if you look to the northeastern part of the state, heavy rain in and out of the area, and we're talking about flood warnings for Santa Fe County and also Los Alamos counties. I'm tracking where this rain is going, and I'll tell you how long it's going to last coming up in my Pinpoint 4 7-day forecast.
The rain flooded an RV park south of Artesia. It left the people living there with no way out. Lauren Hansard was there as a helicopter team flew in to rescue them. She is live in Roswell tonight with how the evacuees are doing. Lauren.
Tom, the evacuations just wrapped up. In total, 73 people were airlifted by helicopter, 60 of them from the SKP RV camp. Local runoff from the storm caused the camp to be surrounded by water on all sides. All 60 residents were airlifted from the camp 3 at a time. As you can see, we were there when the residents arrived on safe ground. One evacuee we spoke with says it's been an uncomfortable journey.
My husband had surgery last week, and they evacuated the medical people first, so he would have rather stayed in our rig and laying on the bed. He's quite uncomfortable in the bus right now.
The evacuees were all put on buses to Carlsbad. That's where the Red Cross has set up an evacuation center. Tom, back to you.
Thank you, Lauren.
The New Mexico National Guard also stepped in to help with the rescue. A Black Hawk helicopter was sent to Eddy County. Several National Guard trucks that can go through deep water are also in that area to help. And Eddy County, other places rescuers had to step in. Our Caleb James continues our team coverage now live near Artesia. Caleb.
And Nicole, believe it or not, this is incredible. I'm standing in the middle of the tiny town of Lakewood's main thoroughfare right now. You can't even see the blacktop where I'm visible, but that's where our photographer David is standing right now. He's just about 100 feet ahead of me on the blacktop, but as far as you can see, water has flooded out this road, and that's what turned the tiny community of Lakewood off in the distance into what was virtually its own little island. We are told rescue crews evacuated 73 people from this small community beyond these floodwaters. They used the only equipment that could get them there, the airboats that were donated by a local mine, we are told. Now, Eddy County Sheriff Scott London tells me most of the evacuees are retired senior citizens, most of the folks in that community. He also tells me 7 people, we are told, are refusing at this point to leave their homes, still stranded in the Lakewood area, still inside their homes at this hour. And those who've been evacuated are en route right now to a Red Cross evacuation center in Carlsbad. We are going to follow up there coming up tonight at 10 o'clock. The fear, though, for rescue workers here is that those 7 people who are still in their homes may be victims of what they expect to be another tough storm coming through the area, and that's what they're nervous about. For now, though, reporting in Eddy County, I'm Caleb James, KOB Eyewitness News 4.
The Red Cross has set up a couple of shelters for those displaced by the flooding. We already told you about the shelter in Carlsbad. The Red Cross decided to close its shelter in Roswell. There is another Red Cross shelter. It is in Doña Ana County. It's at the community center in Vado. Now, if you'd like to help New Mexicans affected by this flooding, you can donate to the Red Cross's local disaster fund. We have a link at KOB.com under 4 links. Southeastern New Mexico is not the only place seeing flooding. Take a look at this video a viewer sent us of Pajarito Creek in Tucumcari. The viewer tells us the creek is normally only about 2 feet wide and only 6 inches deep. You can see it's a much different situation tonight.
Well, the rains thoroughly soaked the New Mexico State Fair today.
It forced cleanup crews to drop their brooms and litter spikes and grab shovels and sandbags instead.
Our Stuart Dyson was there throughout the long downpour, and he's there now where it's not raining quite as much now. Stu?
No, I think we're expecting, a little rain off and on here this evening. We'll see what happens. The fairgrounds, it's fairly soggy around here tonight, but everything is up and running at this point on schedule. There were a few outdoor events and things like that did get postponed, of course, especially while it was raining, but everything's going on now. The show must go on is the motto, and it did in spite of the rain. In a drought, this might be the state's 4th or 5th biggest river. And for a time, the Rio Muddo threatened to flood into the old stables just east of the horse arena. Fair workers dropped everything they were doing and went to work sandbagging and flood fighting.
So we try to sandbag this whole thing and keep the water on that side. That way all our horse people will be dry.
These guys didn't know they were signing up for the Army Corps of Engineers, did they?
No, that wasn't in there.
A few brave fairgoers refused to let a little rain get in their way. The mule and donkey competition went off without a hitch. Hey, these are rural people. And with all these farmers and ranchers here, they're just happy about some relief from the drought.
Awesome.
You're soaking wet. We're up to our knees in mud, and this is awesome.
Yes.
How come?
Because my horse does good in the rain.
And that indeed is awesome. So this evening, things here are pretty much back to normal, with the notable exception of a few hitherto unexplored lakes and bayous out in the parking lot. Back to you.
All right, Stu. Our coverage of the storms doesn't end here. Coming up in a few minutes, we're going to take you to Rio Rancho, where soccer players have a special system to keep them safe in severe weather.